Today, we have fire levels. God, it's so hot in here. Appropriate for fire day. Alright, this is one of my favorite fire level kind of songs. This is Red Hot Skull from Sonic Adventure. And this is my choice for this stream, right? This is a very guitar heavy one. You'll hear it. I'm gonna go through once for vibes, and then I'm gonna go through again for analysis. Let's go. Alright, so we got these crazy, like, screechy kind of like vocals up top. Almost gives the impression of someone being burned alive, or, you know? We got this funky bass line. I love that. So we have this sample chopped guitar, right? Where there's like a guitar line and then the last little is repeated and then delayed out, and so it just fades. That's cool as hell. Then we get some power chords. Then the guitar starts doing another riff. Before it was just doing like hitting chords with the whammy bar down and then bringing them up gradually. And the melody falls down an octave, and then it goes back up an octave. It delays out like that. And there's a lot of these breaks where like the bass cuts out, and it just kind of has this like stop and go sort of feel to it. A lot of cool drum fills. Someone's playing that fader. You can hear at the end of the drum fills that it like slips down. So now it was sort of doing this thing where, yeah, cut, back, cut, back, cut, and then it plays everything out for the tail. Then this weird interlude with like a FM piano kind of thing. Now there's like a guitar line that's hopping back and forth between the ears. Yeah, and then there's the power chords with it. Like, striking them with the whammy bar down and then bringing that out. That's so cool. Gives the effect of, like, flowing lava, you know? Like, it's, you know, like, creeping. Then they just crank the reverb on that guitar for some reason. There's a lot of production, a lot of like automation happening here. And they do these like dive bombs with the wah with them too. The slide up. The little like pentatonic like step down. It's almost like the one from Seek and Destroy. And then I think here, then the bass does it. Like, that's so cool. Squealy guitar. Yeah. Then we get back into that full guitar line. Yeah, and then this piano thing again. I think this is where it fades. Well, they got a little bit more, but we've already looped. Little drum break. Okay, so we haven't looped. This is new. Reverse cymbals at the end. Now you guys know where I get it from. I do that reverse cymbal thing so much. Okay, but before we break that down, let me tell you something. I don't have a sponsor for this video. My efforts are funded by generous contributions from viewers like you through Patreon. If you want to see more of this, and you want to hear more of my stuff than anybody else can right now, go to case.dog/join, or click that link up in the card and become a moonling. That's where you get to hear my unreleased music, get access to a VIP chat in my Discord where I post the evolution of my tracks as I work on them. You can get the master stems to my 100+ songs that I've put out, and there's tiers where you can see your name in a lower third in the video, which you're about to see. Thanks for listening, and yeah, I do have blue hair now. Back to the video. All right. I love this song. I love this song. This is one of the fire levels of all time for me. And it's got a lot of simple elements, but it's so fiery. And it's so like lava flow kind of, it just evokes that looped like screechy kind of like thing. I don't know what that is, but I love it. It almost sounds like animal noises, you know? And I hear like two bass things going, because I hear like a synth bass going. You can hear that very faintly in the intro. And then we get the bass going. And then everything enters. So this one also is jumping between like a two half step thing, right? But it does like a little bit more with the bass line. Where we jump up to like a minor third there. That's a fourth, I believe, actually. It actually moves up a whole step, but when it moves up to the two, the distance between the two and the minor third, that gives us our little like half step walk, right? And then we got these chords. And it sounds like actually we're not starting in F like the bass is. It sounds like it's starting with a 7. And that G is the actual root. And it's going between G and A flat, right? Because when the guitar comes in and hits that low power chord, it's a G. It's not an F. Yeah, and we get this. Like I said, it hits the chords with the whammy bar down, with the tremolo bar down, so that the pitch is like lowered, and it like scoops into them. Like that. And it's just that it's so cool because it like swells into everything. The bass line is already sort of telling us. And because that bass starts on a lower note, right? That rise up into the swell actually like starts closer to what the bass is, the first note of the bass line actually. So that's like really clever. And then we go up for the chords. And it does this 7-1. And then I think it does the 1-2. 1, you know, flat 2. Then everything rises up. Bass has a little fill there. A little fill like drop. Yeah, and then the guitar. It's doing that. I can't. They're doing like a picking pattern that's hard to do on a piano, you know. Very crunchy. It's just super like crushing when that comes in. Okay, and this melody that keeps coming back, they change it up a lot, mostly just by throwing it between octaves, and they also do that cool like delay thing. So we start on the root there, right? On G. We arpeggiate up a 7 chord. This minor 7 here. But by the time we get to the 7, we are now in A flat, right? And it just has that delay that fades. It's like definitely they're taking like that one last sample, cutting it, and then having like a delay filter like just sort of draw it out, right? And then like it keeps teasing a fuller version of the melody because eventually it goes. And then it like cuts off and then like repeats that again. And then we get this. Then the backwards drum fill, that's so cool. Then we get this other guitar melody. And we start basically step up 4 to 5 from the root. And then we do like a 1-7-1. It does that kind of thing. And then it does that again and holds it out. All right, and then we get this kind of like piano thing here. And then it does like a little arpeggiating like trill thing downward. And then the piano goes away and we're just back into guitar land. That's such a weird like fill that they throw in there, but it changes up the pace because so many of these are like the same kind of part. Yeah, and now we have the... Now we have that jumping between the ears, right? And sometimes we go up to 4. Like that. So now, after all of that, we finally get the full guitar line. Then we move up. Yeah, and then we have the full thing going with the... Yeah, and then yeah, and then we have this like that little thing. That's just like a little pentatonic thing that they're doing on. on that half step up, right? Does a little chromatic step up back into the G, back into the root. This is some good squeedly guitar, I gotta say. And then the bass does the... does that same thing. And we end on like a, the 5 of the root, but like a tritone of the thing that's currently playing. So it adds like a little bit more of that like dissonant flavor, but still sounds like a satisfying like rise, you know? We get those dive bombs. Yeah, then everything cuts and the bass does like its slide down. Then we get that B melody. And then that piano thing again. Then that back and forth again between the ears on the guitar line. Yeah. Then the drum break takes us out. And that's that whole song. I love this song. I love the production. I love how much it does with just a few parts by chopping them, screwing them, adding some delays, cutting them up, building. It builds up to that guitar line and it feels really satisfying once you hear the rest of the melody. The way that it will like build on the guitar riff underneath it while still just keeping the... When it drones power chords, it makes it interesting. It will start with the whammy bar down and bring them up so it glides into them. And it doesn't do that forever. It'll start... What was that Immigrant Song? It starts doing a pattern like that with the octave skips. So it is constantly changing up the guitar like rhythm to be more interesting from part to part to part. And there's like a definite A and B melody with the guitar, because there's the... It has that, but it also has... And it has that. And it's not like it just goes between the two. It throws a bunch of these extra fills and stuff in. It does a couple little extra things like that little piano thing and that little... And it very much is trying to keep it moving and interesting. It knows that if it just relied on guitar through the whole thing, it would be boring. And anytime that it does that, anytime that it has to return to that, it always has something that's more interesting. The screamy loop up top should be more annoying than it is, but it sounds so cool. It sounds so like badass in context. And they don't just loop it. They'll chop it and they'll take it away and bring it back, and like they'll do a couple like things to it just to make it not so egregious and not so repetitive, you know? So I love this one. I'm not gonna rate it. I would rate it a 5 because I picked it, but yeah, this is Red Hot Skull from Sonic Adventure. Thanks me for suggesting this one. It's one of my favorite Fire songs of all time. One of the only songs from Sonic Adventure I really like besides the main theme. All right, how do you think I did? If you like the analysis, hit like. If you want to see more stuff like this in the future, hit subscribe and the bell to make sure you see when new videos go up. Let me know what you think. Is there anything you think I missed or glossed over? Let me know in the comments. I would love the feedback. I'll see you next time.